If you're with former or past NCAA All-American from the University of Virginia, Jim Harshaw, Cavalier Wrestling Club, but more importantly, Riot Sports Marketing. You've got a vendor table here. You've given some presentations here at the NWCA convention. In a nutshell, initially for those that might not know, but if they're not paying attention, they really wouldn't know. What is Riot Sports Marketing and what is its impact? One, here on the convention to try to convey more ideas, and what's its role in wrestling?
Sure. We have a system that basically helps people communicate through a lot of avenues to their fan base, to their alumni base, to get more fundraising, to get more people in the stands, to get more administrative support, more media coverage. So it's basically creating multiple avenues of communication for wrestling programs to have these sort of outcomes that I was talking about. And we do it in a really simple way that it's just so simple that a caveman can do it.
So you're stealing a line from Geico. For example, if a team signs up, not to give out your entire product here, but maybe to entice, there's a product, say a team signs up and uses your services, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Well, what we do, and I'll keep it real simple, is we give them a single email address, they send the content, we get it everywhere else. We get it everywhere where they need to be, whether it's through an email newsletter, onto their website, onto Facebook, onto Twitter, and we set up the Facebook and the Twitter. If they don't have those, we can set them up for them. So that's what we help them with. And we have this sort of off-the-shelf package that I'm talking about, but we're also doing some consulting work and some higher level stuff with some other organizations. And yeah, we're working primarily with wrestling. We've had some collateral damage and accidentally have signed up a couple of basketball programs and that sort of thing too, unfortunately. But
I don't think they're going to be watching this.
Right. But business is business. But my passion's wrestling. I grew up wrestling. I wrestled at EVA. I've been a coach, and I am a coach really still at the Cavalier Wrestling Club. So I mean, I'm a coach. I know what these coaches are going through. I know what they need to do. I know that they don't have the hours to put into a marketing campaign. So I just keep it simple, and I coach them each week on sort of how to implement this.
Isn't it important, though, for a coach, even if you're doing a lot of work, is to be involved in knowing, for example, they use Riot, they still should know what's going on. And what's the role there to say, keep the coach educated, because they need to do some Facebook, Twitter updates. They need to be engaged. Is that part of your program, is teaching them how to do it as well, and their engagement and their fan base?
Yeah, I mean, they're creating the content, and they're sending me the updates in the news and the results and the information about the upcoming fundraiser or social or results. One of the wrestlers just did a great job at some of their events. So they're giving me the information, but it goes back to sort of the NWCA model and philosophy of the coach as the CEO, the coach as the small business owner, the coach as the entrepreneur, the innovator, who has to oversee all of these things happening, but doesn't have to do all the work, doesn't have to do the logging in and the logging out himself. Hire somebody to do it. Leverage yourself so you can do more with yourself, because as wrestling coaches and wrestling people, we like to do it all ourselves. We stepped out on the mat, we trained ourselves, and we kind of have this individualism mentality, but when you leverage yourself, you can get a lot more done and be a lot more successful. And that's in the business world, it's in the coaching world as well.
So when you first set this up, what was the intent? You've explained what the program is and how it works, but what's the general intent behind it? It's about building media networks, it's about building your program through media and things of that nature. But what was the real, the matchstick lighting on the flint moment, what sparked the idea and the putting it into practice?
Yeah, what sparked the idea, it wasn't like necessarily one matchstick moment, but it was all of these moments happening over the course of years of studying small business and how small businesses work. And in reading these business books, and I sort of have my top three, my summer reading list that I've given people being the E-Myth, the 4-Hour Work Week, and How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I've had a lot of people call me and email me telling me they're reading these 3 books. But these are the best 3 books that any coach should read. But anyways, through reading books like these and a lot of other books, Duct Tape Marketing and Built to Last, and these great sort of popular business books that really give you practical information that you can implement and tactics that you can implement in your business. Well, they apply directly to coaching. You know, whether you need the marketing or the funding, let's say, or the participation or the media coverage. If you need those things or not, these are going to help you be a better CEO, be a better leader of your organization, getting more done. And the one quote, and my favorite quote, is from that book Built to Last, where they say, for businesses, profit is like oxygen. It's required for success. It's necessary, but it's not the point of life. So you don't, and what is profit as far as a wrestling program or any sports program is concerned? Profit is, we kind of say it's winning. That's profit. But there's a lot more that your program should be built upon, because you're not always going to win. In business, you're not always going to have tremendous profit. So what else? What's your vision? What are you really doing? What good are you doing in the world? And that's what companies like Ford and Hewlett-Packard and Sony, that's what they're built upon. And that's what any wrestling or sports organization should be built upon as well, is things outside of just winning. Because if you're in it just to win, you're going to get burnt out because, man, you're not always going to win. There's got to be a greater vision there.
And as far as the NWCA is concerned with the Leadership Academy, some of the traits that they're working with that academy is kind of the same thing you've echoed with Riot Sports Marketing. Where can the sport of wrestling use you as a maybe 20-second explanation of why is Riot important, why is wrestling important?
Riot is important because we give the individual program a means of creating a stronger program through and having a more educated and involved fan base, through having fewer communication breakdowns with their, even their parents in their close community, through having stronger fundraising, a stronger donor base, through having better administrative support. And these are higher participation rate for high schools. And these are all things that we need and that we want, and it's all achievable through marketing.